Hi friends, Krista here. Thank you so much for stopping by Books and Jams today. I am going to share with you today my July TBR. I have one book with me that is a definite read for the month, and that is my Patreon book club book for the month of July. And I'm so excited that that is The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. If you watched my recent book haul, you will know that I just scored this book for $1 at a library used book sale when I was in Massachusetts. It was such a find. I'm so pumped also that my patrons picked this out of the 3 choices I gave them to read in July. So if you're interested in reading The Thursday Murder Club, I would love for you to check out my Patreon and maybe join in the fun for the month of July. This involves a group of octogenarians, I believe, who live in a retirement home, and they form a club to solve some cold cases. I think it's going to be laugh out loud funny at times. I also think it's going to be kind of adorable and also have this element of mystery. I'm really excited. I've heard nothing but praise for this book. So I'm very excited that this is on my July TBR. This is the only definite. Well, not the only definite. The other one that's a definite that I don't have here with me. I don't own it, but I do have it on Libby. It is The Other Wes Moore. This was my patron pick for the month of July. And it's a nonfiction where a man named Wes Moore discovers that there's another man named Wes Moore. One of them is a white guy and one's a black guy, and they meet and they learn how different their lives have been and yet some similarities as well. I think it's just going to be a very interesting story. So that one will get read as well. The other 2 that I'm kind of setting aside because it is Jane Austen July, and I will link the hosts of Jane Austen July below. They have prompts and all this stuff. I'm not really participating in all of that, but there is a new adaptation of Persuasion coming out soon. I think it even comes out in July, and I really want to watch it because Persuasion is my favorite Jane Austen book. So I would like to reread Persuasion. I've read it a couple times, 2 or 3 times, and I'm due for a reread. It's been a couple of years. I really love Anne and Captain Wentworth and the letter at the end. Oh man, if you know, you know. So Persuasion is definitely something I'm very interested in reading this month. It's not a must read, but it's a hope to. It's a hope to read. The other Austen related book that I would like to read in July is The Other Bennett Sister by Janice Hadlow. In this one, we follow Mary Bennett, who is a younger sister of Lizzie Bennett from Pride and Prejudice. She's kind of annoying and very, very serious and legalistic and awkward in Pride and Prejudice. This book takes a deeper look into her life and kind of gives you a new perspective about Mary Bennett. And I'm really, really excited to read this. This was one of my other patron choices for the month of July, and it didn't get picked. I'm hoping to get a little buddy read going with the others who picked this one and read that with a small group in the month of July. So these are the 2 books that I would read for Jane Austen July. So they're not must reads, but I'm hopeful. But the fun part of July is that that's it for my must reads for the month. I have this jar, this vase, that's filled with little slips of paper. And these are all patron picks from the beginning of the year until now. Last year in December, I used this to pick out a couple of my reads at the end of the year. And I had so much fun doing that I thought I would do it twice this year. So I'm going to do it in July and December. So I'm going to pick out 3 now to add to my TBR. And then as the month goes on with my patrons, I'll pick out a few more, hopefully. You'll see the 3 that I'm going to pick now. And then at the end of the month, you'll see whatever else I get picked out of the jar, but I'm only going to include the first 3 for everybody to see. So if you're a patron, you'll get to see picks, hopefully, if I could get to them all. So I'm going to reach in here. The first one I'm going to add to my TBR is The Thursday Murder Club. Well, I'm not counting that because I already am reading that in July. That's funny. That might happen. Some of these have already been read. We'll see. This one is Strange the Dreamer. Oh, good. By Laini Taylor. Lee from Australia recommended that one. Okay, let's pick another one. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see what I got. This is Remember Me. Remember Me. That sounds really familiar to me. I'll have to look it up in a second. And then the third one is Greenwood. Lee. You made out. 2 of these are Lee picks this year. Let me get the 2 that I have, and then I'll put a picture up of the 3rd one. Okay, so I have these 2. Like, these are 2 chunkers. Oh man, Strange the Dreamer. How many pages are in here? 530 something pages. Fantasy, beginning of a duology. I've been wanting to read it for a while, so I'm really excited. I think it's YA as well, so that should be good. I haven't read a fantasy in a little while, so I'm kind of excited that this got picked. It's a really pretty cover too. It's just a chunker. Remember Me, I did look up, is by Sophie Kinsella. It kind of gives me What Alice Forgot vibes. This 28-year-old girl, Lexi Smart, she wakes up in a London hospital. She's in for a big surprise. Her teeth are perfect, her body is toned, her handbag is Vuitton. Having survived a car accident in a Mercedes, she lost a big chunk of her memory, 3 years to be exact, and she's about to find out just how much things have changed. So I'm excited. Sophie Kinsella, it sounds like it'll be a fun summery read. So I'm going to see if I can find that on audiobook. And then Greenwood by Michael Christie is a book that I first heard about from Meredith on the Currently Reading podcast. It was one of her favorites either last year or the year before. Oh, look at the pages of that. It looks like wood grain. That is very cool. I forget what it's about though. They come for the trees. It's 2038. So a near future. As the rest of humanity struggles through the environmental collapse known as the Great Withering, scientist Jacinda, or Jake Greenwood, is working as an overqualified tour guide on Greenwood Island, a remote oasis of 1,000-year-old trees located off the coast of British Columbia. Jake had thought the island's connection to her family name just a coincidence until someone from her past reappears with a book that might give her the family history that she's long craved. I'm not going to keep going. I think it had something to do with the structure, feeling like the rings of a tree, which is how you count its age. So I think we're going to be going back in time to the Greenwood family and also the current day in this almost post-apocalyptic sort of post-environmental situation, world collapse in the near future, 2038. So I think that sounds interesting. It does feel like it's going to be a little more literary and maybe slow. So I'm going to see if I can find this on audio as well. It's a heavy book. Holy moly, this is a heavy book. But so there we have it. Remember Me, Greenwood, and Strange the Dreamer are going to be my 3 picks from my Patron pick jar. I have 2 books here for Jane Austen July, Persuasion, and The Other Bennett Sister, and then my Patreon book club book, The Thursday Murder Club, and The Other Wes Moore for my patron pick this month. So those are my July TBR books. I would love to know, have you read any of these? Do you want to read any of these? Are you participating in Jane Austen July? Are you interested in joining my Patreon? Let me know. Let's chat about all the things down in the comments below. I always love talking with you down there. And thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I really appreciate you being here and taking time out of your day to hang out with little old me. I am so excited for July. It's my birthday month, so it's going to be a great month. I'm starting the month right off with a trip to New York to visit my mom and sister. Right on July 1st, I'm leaving, heading out of town. So I'm excited for the month. It's going to be fantastic. I hope that you have a wonderful month of reading planned. I look forward to hearing what you've got up on the docket for the month of July. Let's chat, and I will talk to you in another video very soon. Bye.